Hi, YouTube. I'm doing okay. Hope you are too. Um, Anybody feel the forces of evil trying to get in really bad? Yeah, they are. Today is the shortest day of our season in the northern hemisphere. It's the winter solstice today. So there is a lot of evil craft going on out there right now towards us. So, and that's a true thing. So, I'm sure some of you are aware of it, and if you didn't know the actual day, um, I'm sure you feel it. If you're a kind person in your heart, you're feeling it, you know, for real. Yeah, Karen, I like talking to you too. You're really nice. I enjoy that. Um, Yeah, I have one son on the West Coast with a bunch of kids and, well, three granddaughters there, and another one the next state over. And he's working. And this morning I talked to him a bit. He does carpentry work, and well, he welds too, but he's up on top of a roof doing that this morning. So um, we talked a little while. I was telling him, write down your address. I wanted to send him some money. It's like, you arguing with me, kid? You don't want any? Shoot. Okay. Yeah. I literally had money from change money I had saved up that I was going to send to SJD, but he didn't want cash. He wanted it through PayPal. And I don't have credit cards or nothing like that. So all I could do for him was pray. That's the way that goes. So, anyhow. But yeah, I literally just sent off some of that money um, this morning for Christmas for kids and part of it. And then, well, I sold my car too, so I can afford to um, give more to my son. So the one that's talking to me, you know. Yeah, the other one, his wife would call when she had to go to the morgue and see if it was his body there and that type of thing. She would call and talk to me, but yeah. But things are really hectic in their lives beyond nor- normal circumstances, so I feel them with me, you know. And we were always very close anyway, so I've never been the kind of mom that needs my kids like hanging on me like that. So, or really close, or I mean, I'm kind of a loner, and I always sort of was, especially when they got ripped away from me by the Masons um, for a time and then came back. So, um, got kind of used to the loneliness in a sense, you know. I just about went nuts, but yeah, because I knew they needed real love instead of yelling, swearing, that type, you know. Um, oh, you men of God that don't, on a normal basis, scream and yell and swear and attack people violently with your words like that, like I've been around most of my life, I really appreciate your strength of composure with God in your heart. That means the world to me. Really does. That's what I want to show my sons. And I know they see it and admire it in other men when men don't act like animals. So, yeah. That's the kind of friends they need. That's the kind of friends I need. Ones that might cuss once in a while and aren't so stuffy, but don't make it a habit like it's your whole life. Like, I'm angry, so I have to express it like this, you know? So, true thing. I don't think actually, in all reality, anybody deserves to be around something like that. Not even yourself when you're acting like that. I know I don't like me when I'm acting like that. I was freaking fumigating last year at a couple of Masons and a Eastern Star, couple of them witches coming after me. And I won't name the name of the liar again that I was swearing at. I was so pissed. Yeah. But even for people that are literally not caring enough about other human beings that you're endangering their lives with your words. That's what literally is happening to me right now. I am being called evil in my life and my children and my grandchildren's lives. Where if we're being called a bloodline and being called something that we're not, we are literally being put in danger. So I'll be sending the information around to my family and friends so you know who is saying this about me and why, and who they're helping and why. People that do the craft against people that don't, which would be me and my friends and families. So I'm not talking about my adoptive family that I ran away from and literally divorced legally as soon as I could. I'm talking about my blood relatives. No, I don't have any family close around me that I can spend Christmas, but I do know that I'm loved. I have some that I'm disagreeing with, but I know we feel each other in our minds and hearts. So that's the way I am. I don't tolerate evil in my life. Not no more. I used to put up with it. I used to feel sorry for people to the point of praying and crying every day, and that didn't get me anywhere. So I always knew I had to do something about it. I always felt like I had to. So I'm not going to let anybody stop me. So once again, I'm very proud, not just of the men, but they're out there like really out there. But you ladies out there that are really keeping God in your heart and leading other women with your words in good ways, um, that's awesome. Showing them that good example. That is really important in this world. Just a few handful of good women that showed me, or men, that showed me a different way to live besides the crudeness that I was around, um, meant the world to me. So those are the type of people I cherish. Ones that fight for that, for other people that feel like that. But I will go back. Don't be naive and think any of these people in these lodges anywhere or temples or even religions and stuff. Don't think that these people have your best interests at heart, because when it comes right down to their blood or you, they're going to pick them, and you know that. And they're already trying to kill us with every step in our society and destroying the world. What more do we need to know that they're making everything filthy for gains of money, you know, or to control us by making us weaker? You don't need to know much more than that, you know. It's like step right up and take your vaccines. We want to poison you and you're going to let us, you know. No, I couldn't anyway because the CDC won't let me because, well, it would probably be a lawsuit. Well, that they should have to worry about anyway. If I could ever find an attorney to take the case to literally sue the government for what they did to me. But that's another story. So, yeah, you can ask my youngest son. He saw it. They took a chunk out of my head and chunks out of my legs to take pieces of my flesh to send to the CDC for an unknown fluke that I got when they gave me the swine flu vaccine. So, and he lived through that with me. So he knows. He's on Facebook. You seen him this morning. His name's right on that video. If you ever want to talk to him, he's a very nice person. You'll like him, and he's really funny. Both my kids are very funny men. I'll tell you a story about my oldest son, Luke, was the cutest thing in the world. No offense, John, you are adorable too, but the story I'm telling, he had these little suits when he was about 6 years old. I was going to church with my friends, and Luke couldn't wait to go put on his suits and go. He'd talk with the gentleman there just like he was a big guy, and it was the cutest little thing. He had like these two or three little suit jackets and dress pants to go with, and he had to have them just right. And it was really cute. John was more rugged. He's like, yeah, what's Luke doing? He's freaking weird. He was thinking. So, yeah. But now Luke's more, well, and then he kind of, I loved it when he got into kind of like the skater style um, stuff. That's neat, you know. And John, he's kind of like a farm guy in a way. I guess if he put a label on himself, he would still say he's a country guy, you know. Actually, Luke is too. I don't see that either one of them really like being in the city unless they had to survive, you know. But yeah, and live their own lives, do their own things, you know, learn their own lessons, you know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was watching Lionel Nation this morning, and he was talking about, well, somebody had wrote through on his live stream, you can get more with a carrot than you can a stick. And Lionel's like, and I couldn't believe it. This is so much like me. He's like, yeah, but you can like beat him with the carrot or poke him in the eye. And I'm like, no way. That was great. That's something I would say for reals. Funny. Yeah. Depends on the subject too. Sometimes I'll turn it off if it gets like way too political. I mean, I keep up on what's going on in our government and stuff and my state statutes and what's going on there in the legislation and that type of thing. But um, I'm not one to really say, well, I mean, if you're far left and you're way out so far out that you don't even have no commandments And I keep saying the seven deadly sins, and, you know, to make them aware to other people because it's very important. It really is. I can't stress this enough, you know. So it's important. Look them up, please. Tell me you did, you know. Tell me what you got out of it, you know. It's like, wow. Because those are things that we all do without knowing that we do them all the time. So if you're aware of it, it's a icky feeling you can avoid just by knowing of it. So please look them up. Google it. King James Version, seven deadly sins, or the other way around, I'd probably say it, seven deadly sins. And there's things too that God hates. You might want to Google that too. You know, you say, well, God hate? Well, yeah, you know, it is just a word, not necessarily a feeling to back what that word is. But I think God hates being sad for everybody that's struggling. That's a hate. I hate it. Don't you guys? People? Bad use guys. Them guys. Those guys. These guys. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's always a bad habit. I have just about broke it, but every once in a while, you know. Oh, let's see what else is going on. Um, did you hear about the funding for the wall? They have a GoFundMe for the building the wall um, between Mexico and the United States for you ones that may not know. I'm sure you do anyway. Then they got a GoFundMe for the ones that are against building the wall. So they had like about $10 million in the, or maybe I'm misspeaking. No, I think that's what it is already in the GoFundMe for the wall. And the GoFundMe against the wall has only about 80,000 in it. So there's a big difference. But I don't know what they're going to do with the ones that want what ladders. What are they going to buy, ladders for the walls or tunnels or, you know, whatever. You know, I think they should make it all electronic. Touch that stuff and oops, ouch. You know, wouldn't that be a whole bunch cheaper? I mean, you wouldn't even need any guards there. You know, be like them collars on the dogs, like electronic or like electric fence for cattle. They don't touch that stuff. It hurts. One time I was bonfiring and I was out there and my dog's collar got caught. I was about, oh, I'm going to say just about 15, maybe 14 and a half. My dog's collar got caught on the electric fence and I was sitting in an aluminum chair and he come running around my legs and wrapped that electric wire around me. It was literally burning. I had a flannel shirt on. Oh, I loved the thing. It was navy blue and just pretty. It went great with my jeans and burnt the shit out of my shirt. And I was screaming. The dog would scream, whoop, and I'd scream, ah, till my adopted dad ran out there and shut it down. Um, there was times he actually even tried to be a nice human being, but they wouldn't let him out of the lodge when he wanted to retreat, and he probably knew that he was going to end up losing his life for trying to help everybody out here, and that is precisely what happened. So yeah, they do stuff to you if you try and back out. Yes, they do. The members in the community see you as a traitor and they will attack you. So anyone's just know, like I do, if you have God in your heart and you're coming up against them, I never joined them, so I'm not backing out of anything. I've always been fighting them, and I ran away from them because of the abuse. I mean, they're retarded. They're narcissistic. They think they're better than everybody. Who wants to live around that crap? That's more of the same as what I see with the yelling and the badgering. That's not the type of personality I want to be around. To me, that is very narcissistic, and it's unnecessary in any kind of communicating. It's like being thrown into um, a cage with a bunch of monkeys, you know, kind of like that. I was going to say the lion's den, but I won't give him that much credit. Even the monkeys is giving him a bit too much credit. You know, rabid dogs would be more like it. So when people are out there with vile mouths and spreading untruths, well, they will get theirs. I know it. I can see it ahead of time. So, but I'm through commenting and I'm through praying on it. I mean, for everybody as a whole, all the dark spirits. Um, I want God to clean everything up and everybody to be all right. So if you want to find fault with that in me, you do have to seek help for emotional issues for real. Wasn't that putting it nicely? That's how I feel. If you don't like a nice person, you are mentally disturbed. And trust me, if you saw me and an Eastern Star woman in the same room, you would know who the good person was. It would be obvious the difference between a true person that uses witchcraft and a true person of God with Jesus Christ in her heart. You would know the difference. If you don't already and you're playing a game, I'm coming after you. You're exactly the type of fool I'll take down. Watch. Because I'm not playing. You might think it's funny to slander somebody and lie about them. That's no big deal. I will show you different. It's just like it goes back. Okay, I was missing my kids and say, well, I don't talk to my kids much, and depending on how they're feeling and whatever. And then my son texts me, and it's like, yeah, that's how God works. Like, your heart hurts here. Let me give you a little something for it. It's like, all right, you know. I was probably supposed to come out here and talk to everybody and not be busy in any other extreme. That's most likely the way God works. So I'm not holding hard feelings on this, like that towards our Father in heaven. Not Father. Oh, that's just obnoxious. It just doesn't sound right. I don't care. Odd language is odd. It's weird. Holy smokes. Jesus. Oh, whatever. Like I said, I prayed people would have food even if they're dark in their language and in their heads and their hearts are cold, all that type of thing. I still don't want nobody to suffer or starve. And I know they can't say the same of me and could care if I ever did, which I did. many times. So, when I ran away, I went one time 2 weeks without eating, and when I did drink a glass of milk, it almost came right back up, but I held it down, and it was like, so yeah, I had some rough times, literally starving, you know. So, and that can do damage to you, you know, not getting the right nutrition. And when I was young, I was malnutritioned. I wasn't taken care of like I should have been, and them type of things. So if people want to put me down and call me a Mason, well, I could say God damn you, but I'll say God bless you. I'm not going to use your language that you use on me because that is of Satan. So you can keep it or give it back to Satan where it belongs, you know. And yeah, I heard Justin talking about Lucifer and Satan not being the same in a sense. Um, yes, in a sense. One became of the other and vice versa, and we're all of that in our blood. So if we feed Jesus Christ in us, we aren't going to have the Satanistic spirit, the male or the female. So, and the same on the other side. And then it goes into speaking of the four corners of the earth or the cornerstone, which is held by Christ's blood. That's another long story. But people will come to it. I know, I can tell, and I want somebody else to. I'll put the idea out there, you search it. You got it. It's better if somebody actually has to dig that information up. It gives them an exuberance of, I did that, I found this, that type of thing. And it really does. It gives you a input for other people, like you're helping them, and this is how you can by digging and researching a little deeper, you know. So, yeah, I didn't have everything handed to me either, and I still don't know everything. Of course, nobody does, but I know an awful lot. So, and maybe I know I have a lot of videos, but maybe in my titles are usually pretty clear, but a lot of them are packed full of little tidbits here and there. But there's a library down there of anti-Masonic and anti-Satanistic and anti-witchcraft. Nothing but. I have one called The Worst Witch. You should go look at that one if you doubt my sincerity in God. So, well, it don't matter. If you want to doubt me, doubt me. You just need to go. And if you don't like me, I don't like you either because you don't like me. So go anyway. So go somewhere. But anyway, I don't know. I feel like this. Always could have had a whole bunch of friends. And in times I did, but I weeded them out. So then you end up with probably none. Is none better than many fake ones, phony? I mean, being around a group of people, that's all cool, but going home with somebody or actually sharing your life and your time, I'm very choosy like that. So if you don't like me, I am cool with that. Just keep your big mouth shut because I don't talk about you. I don't care. You don't care about me? Well, I might care about you, but I'm going to try not to give it another thought. I'll put it in God's hands. So, yeah. So, kind of, it won't be caring about you like I did. That's the way that goes. And one thing is true, I can't be fooled because I have been shown the whole story. So, I can't tell you my story. I can only tell you my experiences. But when God puts something in your head and it's like, this is the future type of feeling, you'll know when He does. And if you ask for that, I'm sure He'll give you the steps to get there. If you try and run up the steps and you're skipping steps and not watching where you're going, you probably aren't going to get that pat on the head. So, I don't know what else to say, you know. But I still won't let anybody sway my judgment on who I like and who I don't like or why. So, no matter how people try to twist words or put fake names up with my picture and lie about me, and you should take them down because that is a blatant lie. All of it about me is. You might consider not being illegal in the eyes of God and man, because I'm really not going to tolerate it for long. If you want to be slandered, well, then I'll just ask people to dig your stuff up then and take care of that for me. Because, yes, people do love me enough to do that, but I don't want to do that. But if you keep spreading lies about me and don't take my picture off your site, well, guess what? Satan's the one who's going to be attacking you for God. He obviously already is. You just don't know it. I hope if you are watching my video, young man, and I do mean you are young, you'll consider when you were hurt in your life and knew there was a God that helped you. Well, I'm asking Him to help me with you. I want to be your friend, not your enemy. I might come on here and swear about you, though. I'm not beyond that. I don't want to lower my dignity, but if you push me to that point, I might. I'm not saying I won't. Been there, done that. Don't let Satan use you. And I'm not going to stop coming out here loving and talking to my friends. And that's just the way that is. And anything good I can think to help everybody. So, well, I'm going to close this out. And hello, I'm just closing out a recording. Want to say bye, YouTube? Oh yeah, he yeah, had some bad experience last night. So anyway, that's the way that goes. Okay, everybody, have a good night, day, wherever you're at, and don't forget this is the Solstice. No, well, I'm not talking to him. I'm talking to my friends. You know. So back to the point. Well, yes, this is the shortest day. Don't forget that the evil spirits are like at work really hard 3 days before and 3 days after. So, and around Christmas and New Year's for sure. Watch yourselves in these holiday seasons because they're not all they're cracked up to be. They were lies to perpetuate more evil and get your money. So we're turning it into the beginning of good Christmas, not celebrating Satan's birthday, but the beginning of Christ being risen. So I'm going to do a new. Love ya. Talk to y'all soon.